Welcome back to the Garden Report. Josue Pavone here. Nick Gelso, CLNS Media, as the Celtics stretch their winning streak to 12 straight against the Toronto Raptors. A very impressive win here, 95-94. 5 players in double figures. You had no KYRIE IRVING, but Al Horford did come back for this one. He certainly made his presence felt, and so did a lot of the other players, Nick. I mean, this was a group effort. Not to mention the fact that, aside the fact that 5 players scored in double figures, we saw guys coming off the bench that certainly did their part. I mean,
Terry Rozier.
Rozier, for starters, of course. He also finished in double figures. You also can't forget about the other rookie, the big man. Come on down low, making big stops. Daniel Tice. Come on, you're not going to bring up Tice.
The man rookie. I mean, he's a rookie, but he's a 26-year-old rookie. So he's got some
nonetheless,
really
he's a
good
rookie
experience.
in the NBA, and he knows his role. I mean,
he
this guy
really knows his role.
This guy was making key stops in the second half. He also grabbing board for the Celtics. I mean, I just felt like everyone was doing their part in this one. It was certainly, again, a group effort.
Brad Stevens mentioned Al Horford, and I think Steeple Pett asked about aggressiveness offensively. Only 9 shots, 8 and 9 from the field. I mean, he just could. He was all over. And he led the team today, defensively and offensively. The Celtics again out-rebound their opponent, which is flabbergasting after the last several years here in Boston. And also Terry Rozier. I mean, I want to bring it up again. 2 huge three-point shots at the end of 2 quarters, which really turned the tide. And Brad said going into halftime, it gave the Celtics much more motivation to come back out here in the second half and compete. We met here, or we did a show here last week regarding this road ahead with Toronto Warriors.
Brooklyn
we talked
Warriors,
about Toronto being the most important game. Well, not only did the Celtics show up, they played. It was ugly, but they played. They won, and they won without their, and I will say it, superstar point guard.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what's most impressive about this win. I mean, this is a Toronto team that, of course, is one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, and the Celtics, I mean, for them to beat them without their best guy certainly speaks volumes for how deep this team is.
No question about it. And not only how deep, but how much they believe in each other, how much they have bonded, and also, I mean, granted, we've had players, the Celtics have had players in and out of the lineup, so Brad has had to tinker with his line. But since Brad Stevens has come to Boston, he has more of a rotation set in November this year than he has ever had. Usually he's still messing around with the lineups come December and January, and here we are in November, and I think the players know their roles. They've really come together. Injury, adversity brought the team together, and it's shown out. 12 consecutive wins, going to Brooklyn, could be the 13th when we're right back here this week versus Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, Nick. Once again, final score 95-94. The Celtics stretched their winning streak to 12 straight. That's going to do it for part 1, but stay tuned for part 2, where we'll talk more about these key players that have been helping the Celtics without KYRIE IRVING, and we'll talk about how important they are, until we see KYRIE IRVING back on the floor. I mean, there's these 3 guys that we've been talking about.
The genius of Danny Ainge.
Well, the genius of Danny, you know what? That's even better. How about that? How about that for a
That'll
tease?
piss everybody off.
The genius of Danny Ainge.
Yeah.
We'll tell you what we mean in part 2 coming up.
Stick around.